What's going on, everyone? It's Alex here from Alex Physio. Today we're going to be going over 5 exercises that you can do if you've been diagnosed with Piriformis syndrome. Welcome. For those of you who are new to my channel, my name is Alexander Kravich. I'm a physiotherapist in Vancouver, British Columbia, and today we're going to be going over 5 exercises that you can do if you've been diagnosed with Piriformis syndrome. So for those of you who don't know, Piriformis syndrome basically is an irritation of the sciatic nerve as it passes around the piriformis muscle, which is one of the muscles in your buttocks region, and as it continues to travel down your legs. Individuals primarily complain about pain in their buttocks, primarily when sitting, and it can also travel down their leg to their knee and can be associated with numbness and tingling as well. And this is something that's different from a lumbar radiculopathy, in which the sciatic nerve is being pinched in your low back versus in your buttocks. So it's important to be able to differentiate between the two because there's a lot of overlap between the symptoms and the presentation. The first exercise that we're going to do is we're going to do a stretch for the piriformis called the figure 4 stretch. So what this is going to look like is if I want to stretch my right piriformis, if my right piriformis is irritated, I'm going to cross my right leg over my left leg. And this is we're creating basically the number 4 if I'm looking from a top-down view. And in this position, if you feel a stretch already from here, then that's great. A way that you can progress the stretch, because the piriformis does play a role in hip extension or straightening your hip, is you lean your torso forward. So trying to lean your torso forward versus just kind of rounding your back. So hinging at your hip, just that slight movement, you can feel that stretch in your buttocks pretty evidently just by tilting forward slightly. If you feel it just sitting up right here, that's great. But if you feel like you want to get a little bit more of a stretch, then leaning forward and hinging at your hip can help get the stretch even more. So try to hold this for 20 to 30 seconds and then back off and relax. Okay, so that's exercise 1, the seated figure 4 stretch. Not only are we trying to work on stretching the piriformis muscle to try to alleviate it if there is some tightness that's contributing to the pain, we're also trying to strengthen some of the muscles that are around that area to try to help with the symptoms as well. So this is what we're going to do with exercise number 2, which is going to be a bird dog. So we're trying to work on hip extension or hip straightening. So what this is going to look like is we're going to get on all 4s. So knees under hips, hands under shoulders, and I'm just going to come forward a little bit because I'm starting to have more space. If it's my left piriformis that's irritated, I'm going to try to think about bringing my left leg back and at a diagonal. So knee straight, hip straight, you should feel your bum activating in this position, and then come back to the start. While doing this, trying to keep your core active so that you're not just rotating your torso to one side and you're just moving at your hip. Okay. Once you get this down, you can add the opposite arm. So this is that bird dog. So as my arm comes out to the side, my leg is coming out to the side and back. So kind of slightly at a diagonal, because our glute max muscle also rotates our hip outward slightly. So I'm kind of going at an angle and then come back to the start. You can do this on both sides as well, just to get different benefits from having the knee down on the side that's injured and having it actively involved to act from a stability perspective and also doing the movement as well. Okay, so that's exercise 2, the bird dog. Exercise 3, we're going to do another piriformis stretch, but this time we're going to do it lying on our back. So same thing, we're going to get in that figure 4 position, but we're going to do it a little bit differently. So from here, when we're in this figure 4 position, we're going to take our other leg, so in this case my right leg, I'm interlacing my fingers, and I'm just trying to bring that right leg and subsequently my left leg towards my chest. So by just doing that, I can feel quite an intense stretch in that piriformis muscle. Again, I just want you to try to hold this position for 20 to 30 seconds. If you find that it's too uncomfortable, you can back off of it slightly and just move in based on how you feel and if it relaxes after a few seconds. Okay, so that's exercise 3, the figure 4 stretch in supine. Exercise 4, we're going to do a squat with a band. So the band is going to act as an external cue so that when you squat down, you're actively thinking about pushing the band out to the side and subsequently rotating your hips outwards. And rotation of the hip outwards is going to get a little bit more activation of your gluteus maximus muscle. Okay, so Arms out in front of you, toes slightly pointed out. You're pushing that band out as you're coming down on the squat, coming back to the start position. So driving your knees out as you're coming down and back to the start position. Drive the knees out and back to the start position. Again, you can add some weights if you find that this is too easy or you want to get more load or more stimuli. Alternatively, if you feel like it's a little bit more provocative, you can change how far you go down into the squat, or you can just take out the band altogether. So that's exercise 4, squats with a band. Exercise 5, our last exercise, we're going to do standing fire hydrants. So we're going to get a 2-for-1 with this exercise, in that the leg that's on the ground is going to be providing more of a stability role, and then the leg that's off the ground is going to be actively moving against the resistance that the band is applying. Okay, so the setup for this position is going to be knees are in line with each other. The left leg in this case is slightly bent. Hands on our hips, we're going to lean forward slightly, and we're just bringing that right leg back at a diagonal. Okay, so keeping our hips relatively straight. We're not going straight out to the side. If that's 3 o'clock, we're trying to go back to about 4:30 if there's a clock, and my toe pointing up is 12 o'clock. Okay, so we're going back at a diagonal, keeping our hips straight. You can feel it in the right glutes, your glute medius and your glute minimus muscle, as well as your glute max. Okay, and then come back to the start. And same thing, we're going to do this on the other leg too. So now the right hip is going to provide that stability. So our glute medius muscle is important with piriformis syndrome to try to strengthen. So this is our stabilizing leg now. Okay, and we're just, same thing, we're going back and out to the side at that diagonal, keeping that hip straight, nice and stable, working our balance as well. So lots of things going on with this one, okay? So that's exercise 5, our standing banded fire hydrants. So there you have it. We went over 5 exercises that you can do if you've been diagnosed with piriformis syndrome. Have you ever been diagnosed with piriformis syndrome? Let me know what your experience has been. What are some exercises that have worked, that haven't? Have you tried any other sort of treatment or modalities? How was it diagnosed? Did you have an MRI of your pelvis? Did you have any injections? Did you ever have any surgeries on this muscle? Let me know down in the comments below. Love to hear your story. If you found value in this video, please consider checking out some of my other videos. I have over 500 videos on various physio, exercise, and medical related topics. And if you still find value, please consider subscribing to my channel. It really allows my channel to grow and allows me to reach a wider audience. Until then, we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.